everybody! You might be wondering what I'm doing with this huge ball of wool, and I'm going to tell you. So, this is 1 kilogram of merino comb top, and I want to take you along a project that's probably going to take a while. So, I really want to make the Shifty by Andrea Mowry, and I've been talking about this for quite some time, again and again. And I want to not to use spin cycle, but my own hand spun yarn, and I want to dye it myself too. So that's why I got this huge ball of wool to spin, or fiber to spin. And today I'm going to take you along for the first yarn. At least your today, not mine. This is going to take me a few days, but I plan on making a little series about it. And yeah, so for the Shifty I need 1 main color and 3 contrast colors, and I want to try to make it as close or similar to spin cycle dyed in the wool as I can. And I have a few different ideas, and I don't know if they're going to work out, but yeah. So my idea is to make, as I said, 3 different contrast colors, one going from yellow to green to a little bit turquoise or blue leaning green, then the second one a gradient of different shades of mint and blue greens or turquoise, and then the last one is going to be purples, I think, blues and purples, and the main color is different shades of blue and gray. That's my plan. So I'm going to show you the different colors or dyes I plan to use here in a moment. And today we're going to make the first one, so the yellow green, bluish green one. And yeah, so my plan is to take about 100 grams of the kilo for the first colorway, and to then divide the braid in 2 in the middle. And then before I start dyeing, and then I can, when I dye it, I can put them next to each other, but a little bit like this, you know what I mean? And then that way I'm hoping that I can get some nice gradient with a little bit of barber pulling, but not a lot. And barber pulling, not pulling. And then we'll see how it works out when I spin it, so the next colorway I can learn and adapt. And yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so I'm just taking off about 100 grams from my big ball of fiber to start dyeing it. Now it's time to separate the fibers vertically in 2. And checking to see if they are about the same weight. Now let's soak the fiber. Here I'm starting to mix my colors with some water, and I'm also adding the acid into the dye here. Here you can also see which colors I'm planning on using. Just a quick reminder that when using some dye powder, you should really put on some kind of filtering mask so you don't breathe in the tiny powder. Time to get the fiber, which is always kind of hard when it's soaking because I don't want to move it too much, so trying to be very gentle with it, squeezing out some water and then getting it ready to dye. Here I'm putting down some saran wrap because I want to hand dye or hand paint the fiber this time, and then just add heat in the microwave, which is why it's very important for me to keep it wrapped so that there's no dye in my microwave in the end. So here I'm just placing the fiber and then taking the second strip of fiber and adding it in a little bit differently so that I can hopefully have the effect that I tried to explain earlier. And now the fun part starts. I'm just trying to apply some color, picking little sections of the different colors to make a kind of gradient. Now I'm adding a second layer of saran wrap on top of the fiber, and then try to squeeze everything in to work the dye through the fiber so that there are no white sections. I'm also trying to make sure that the different colors are separated with the saran wrap, so that's why I try to push in between the little strands and strips. Now I'm just rolling it together in a little pack that I can fit in my microwave, and add even more saran wrap because I really want to make sure that there's nothing spilling out. Applying heat with the microwave, taking it out a few times to check it, and putting it back in until I'm satisfied with the result. After waiting for a long time for everything to cool down, I can finally wrap or take out the wrap, which is going to be a mess because the color dye is going everywhere, and I'm just going to have very colorful hands in a moment. Just ignore that. Luckily I was able to wash it out, no problem. Now I'm trying to just rinse the fiber as gently as I can. Sped up, it looks kind of rough, but I was being very careful with it. Here we can see the finished fiber. This is dry. There is a little bit more compacted than I hoped for, so a little bit of felting, but I am sure I can manage spinning it anyway. And yeah, this is what it looks like. You can see that the colors are not exactly the same next to each other, which is exactly what I wanted. So now, look at this. It looks so nice in braids. It's time to start spinning. Yay! Just trying to prep the fiber a little bit and fluffing it up a bit to make it easier to spin. just checking how thick I wanted my plies to be, my singles I mean, and then I just go for it and keep spinning. Here are my 2 singles and I'm very happy with how they turned out. So now it's time to start plying. And here's the plied version on a bobbin. I have a lot left over and I'm just gonna mix that in with the second color so you can see that in the second video. Let's have a look on the Nitty Naughty. It's always really nice for me to look at that, and I feel like this is exactly what I hoped for. Finishing the yarn by putting it in hot water so that it can relax a little bit, the twist can get a little bit more even, and moving it around a bit to remove any leftover dye. And here's the finished yarn. I really like it, how it turned out, and I'm excited for the next one. I hope to see you there.